The sun is out, the birds are chirping, and those April snow showers may have finally brought us some May flowers. On this week's episode of Talkin' Townball, don't forget to print out your MapQuest directions because we are going on tour. We'll also take a look at some of the early season scores, talk about some recent happenings and upcoming events, and hey, maybe we'll even grind a stump or two. Hit up your local bodega for a bacon, egg, and cheese, and wash it down with some of the finest Arabica bean coffee. It's time to talk Townball.
Under those stars where the heart beats strong, Minnesota diamonds where we all belong. Cheering voices carrying through the night, the soul of the state under stadium lights.
All right, it is Tuesday, May 12th. We are back to talk some Townball on Talkin' Townball.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank our sponsors this week. Well, they're our sponsors every single week.
That's right.
But we got Brian Rock. They are coming up the pipeline in the field supply game, the field maintenance game. I saw our guy Andy out in Egan after a big rainstorm. He was walking the field an hour later. You wouldn't even notice it. It almost made it better, that rain.
Absolutely.
Pristine. So, pristine. We got our Max Bat. We might even talk about the manager of
Mr. Hadley.
Mr. Hadley
Yeah.
of El Rosa.
El Rosa.
Who's a Max Bat rep. Max Bat guy, has a tattoo of Max Bat, probably.
Changing his name to Max Bat.
And some of you might have seen us wearing some ball caps the other day on the old Twitter sphere. Our guys over at Rambo hooked us up with some Talkin' Townball hats. So thank you to them. So Brian Rock, Max Bat, and Rambo, our three big-time sponsors.
We had a tweet at us about where'd you guys get the lids, and a clever
You like that?
Rambo GIF or GIF, however you
Yeah.
say it, sent back. I thought that was
You're
good.
kind of pulling the mask off here, but I'm on the Twitter. I'm running the account, and I mean we're all involved, but every once in a while I like to get a little goofy in the
fun.
replies. So
Yeah.
it was a good one, and the hats are great. We really enjoy them. I know Swatsky over at Rambo, he said he held on to one for himself, and we've already been given cash offers. We might have to put in like a bulk order because there's definitely some very excited fans that want to get their hands on some merch. So.
If you want a hat, let us know, and maybe we'll put something together.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do there. But it was just it was a fun weekend, and we've talked about it. Obviously, there's a reason why we were together. We had a little bit of an event. Hayes, you were hosting in Delano. You had the Prep Baseball Day Minnesota, which was kind of it was the third year of this, and I mean it hasn't obviously everyone's heard of Hockey Day Minnesota, right?
Right.
That's the big thing. So you've got your third year of Baseball Day Minnesota. You're trying to do similar thing, play a lot of games at a certain site and just kind of get people hyped up about prep sports, right? I mean, what you talk about that experience a little bit and kind of the lead up?
Yeah, it was for a group that's hosted a couple state tournaments recently. It was something we were excited to find out. It was going to be between us and Shakopee, and Shakopee's going to actually have it next year. They did 2 years ago in Minnetonka, last year in Waconia, and we got an opportunity to do it. Our high school team that took third last year was already scheduled to play Matamita, who's a defending state champ, so it kind of worked out really nice. We were able to give a little bit of input on, hey, here's who we'd like to see, more so like schools that are similar in size and local groups too, because we had Buffalo, Monticello, Big Lake, Hopkins. We had a lot of teams that weren't driving too far to come out to our ballpark that were familiar with it, but maybe their players haven't quite played there yet. So that was great. That worked out pretty well from an attendance standpoint. I know they're going to have a big meeting, kind of follow-up meeting on Wednesday to really crunch some numbers. I would say, we'd have been flirting with maybe 1,000 for that Delano Matamita game. When you have people standing in the bullpen all the way down the lines and then out on the decks. You can throw a comma in there and probably start flirting with 1,000. But I mean, leading up to it, the tricky part is your field prep, because I mean, last year in Waconia it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
We had a really nice day weather-wise, and we had good enough weather leading up. We didn't have a lot of rain, so we were able to get to the grass where we wanted to without scalping it or burning it in the end of April, because so we really lucked out and kind of tried to do it a little bit like the state tournament on a smaller scale, because it was only a 1-day event. And then Prep Baseball Report, they got some big sponsors. They get the Twins Community Fund involved. They get the St. Paul Saints out. So we had TC the Bear and the Pig from St. Paul. They had a Twins clinic in the morning on our youth fields in the Central Park area. So it worked out pretty good. It was a lot more than a state tournament. Like, everything was timed out. We kind of got this, NSPN, they got to start the game right on time. And we're like, look, we've had NSPN here before for state tournaments, so you can't really fool us on that.
Yeah, that's the
if
truth.
the game runs long, the game runs long. Mm-hmm. And, you have something going on before every single game, a first pitch, and that's great, but I must have been up and down the steps of the press box 57 times.
A lot.
You're doing in-game interviews, post-game interviews, relay races during games, and the coaches get a little crabby, and it's like, hey, you just gave up a 3 spot. How does it feel?
Yeah,
and that was kind of my task in it, and I really, really want to thank you guys for coming to help out. John announced the first 2 games, then Jordan was doing the music for the 3rd game. We had Denny Laufenberger from Chanhassen do the 3rd game as well. And then the coolest part, and I think you guys will agree.
Oh, 100%.
We had Sue, right?
Sue Nelson.
Sue Nelson. Sue Nelson, the organist from Target Field, was up in the press box.
Oh my gosh.
And during the Chan Orno game, there was 3 home runs hit, and the ball had just landed, and she was roaring on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Jordan synced like a home run music. I think it was from like the White Sox, perfectly off of that. I'm
man.
like, this is awesome.
Sue and I were on the same wavelength.
You guys were gelling.
We were
for sure.
gelling well. She was the nicest person I think I've ever met in my entire life.
It was
no
crazy.
joke. And she told. So I brought my daughter along to play with Ryan's daughters at the game, and we're up there in the press box, and she got to meet Sue, and she's like testing the organ out, and playing her little ditties, and mid-playing, she's having a conversation with my daughter. She's like, "Oh, do you take piano lessons? Would you ever want to do this?"
And she's playing
and
a little
like
too.
didn't miss a beat. And she's like, "All right, well, if you ever come to a Twins game at Target Field, you come see me. I'll be up in this bar booth or whatever." And she's like, "Come see me."
It was like an experience like I didn't know I needed to have, and then it happened. And I'm like, I was chuckling the whole time. I was like, I felt like a kid in there. I was just so happy.
Giddy as hell.
It was great. It was
awesome.
so fun. I mean, obviously the baseball was great. There was really good players. I mean, everywhere in every game, and the talent level was awesome. And that that's kind of what the day is for, to kind of show off the talent. But as far as what we were doing in our little world in the press box, like, we were just having the greatest time ever. So it was a great day. You were probably out there 8 a.m. that day, and probably left at 10 p.m.
I think we did a 9 a.m. and then I about 10:15 got home.
So what a day. I mean, you think about it. If you're new to like that hosting game, and you think about it, it's like a state Saturday. If you've got a busy state Saturday, and you just jam everything in, and you're working with probably less experienced people. I mean, those coaches, they were getting yelled at to get through their infield. I think about like Doc Nagel yelling at amateur teams to get moving a little bit. At least they have a little bit of a they have a history of these coaches understanding that there is a strict time limit.
There's 4 baseball games to get through today. And we're trying to stay on schedule. Like, you get an allotted time for your infield outfield. Stick to that time. You don't want. Maybe not everybody is taken in and out today. You're not going to have 25 guys out there.
It's hard to say no to kids though on that baseball day in Minnesota.
You don't want to for sure.
But I think like as the Delano reps, like, we were just like, we don't want it to be a 15-minute IO, but
No.
10 is fine. Like it's, I
Yeah.
get you want to get the game going. So do we. We're here all day too.
Yeah.
So like but
Yeah, you guys aren't hoping for extras. Like,
Right.
no.
There was, I think, a lot of actual prayers being, said in the press box. I think it was, is it Chris Ohm from
Chris
Waconia?
Ohm from Waconia.
He's the guy that was kind of being the director behind the scenes, and he was. I mean, if they got into the 6th or 7th and it was a close game, he was praying for quick outs,
yeah.
and if they were gonna score, he was gonna just fall to his knees. So he was on top. I mean, he cared so much about the timing, and it's good to have people like that.
I do.
You need him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I got to shout out Chris for the positive reinforcement he was giving us up there.
Yeah,
I mean, the three of
he
us
was
have all
hyping us
spent.
up.
Yeah, the three of us have all spent time in a press box doing music or announcing or scoreboard or whatever. We're like timing out the music to play because there's a million things going on the field, and we don't want to screw that up. And then we're timing it with Sue, the organist, and the announcers doing his thing. And when we're playing whatever or doing whatever, Chris is behind us going, "Hey, great job on that
Great
one.
job,
You really
great
timed
job."
that one out well."
Yeah, exactly.
Felt good.
Really
to
was
hear.
nice to be hyped up, and it was funny. Ryan introduced me to him, and he said, "Yeah, this is the guy that talks crap about Waconia on the podcast." And the thing that saved me, the thing that saved me was that we're both Cobber grads, so we have that going for
Roll
us. So,
Cobs.
And we had Lavelle Neal up in the booth for game 1.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
and Jordan were recanting smoking cigars at Allery's together.
I do have Lavelle Neal Allery's stories. I used to live in Lower Town, St. Paul, and I have to say this. My buddy Nick Bauman tweeted at Lavelle Neal before we went to the bar one night. He said, "Meet us at Allery's." We go to the bar. 20 minutes later, Lavelle Neal walks in. My buddy is kind of drunk off his butt. He goes, "You got my tweet." And Lavelle looks at him like, "Who are you? I haven't seen any tweet. I don't know what you're talking about."
He thinks they're
So,
best friends now. He's like,
My buddy
got my
Nick Bauman's like 6'3", 290 pounds. Just runs up to him like, "You got my tweet." It was just
so
hilarious. So,
So no, it was fun having him up there and not like gawking over him too, because he has a million stories and you want to ask him like, what happened with this with Tom Kelly
Right.
and this and that.
And
he
ESPN did a good job.
And he was just kind of one of us up in the box.
just another guy up
Yep.
there, that's for sure. Well, yeah, it was a fun time, and we talk about Delano. You guys host. You've got Delano High School in town, and they're used to that ballpark. But we look at our Twitter feed, and all of a sudden we see St. Martin. They've built this awesome deck that they've got put up recently, but they're hosting some high school games soon, and it kind of brought to our attention, like the possibility of having like a host site for some high school games, because the high school games bring a lot of excitement. If they're going to a new ballpark, if you've got a good matchup between two teams playing at a good amateur ballpark, you can get quite a following out there. So exciting to see that St. Martin is going to be hosting some games. So I'm trying to think, is there any other ball fields that you guys are aware of that, Stearns County, we mention it. There's not a lot of an association to a
school district.
A
A lot of them are private fields,
Right.
owned by
Private
the town
fields.
team, basically.
Right. So then when you think about for the most part, like Litchfield, we host our high school team as well. But a lot of these ballparks, the one that comes to mind, like St. Patrick, they don't have a high school team, right? So you've got, just a great field. Does Dundas have a high school team?
No, what I've always loved about Dundas, when I worked in Farmington for 6 years, Farmington's had really good high school baseball program for some time now, and they would always have their section like semis and finals at Dundas, and you're like, that couldn't be better.
Yes.
Like St. Patrick, and I think that's maybe more part of that new Prague school district.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Elko and New Market, they have cool fields too. Just out here, St. Bonnie has really done a lot with their field. They do have Crown College, that's Crown's home field. Like at Cologne, that's part of the Norwood.
Cologne hosts some playoff ball.
Okay,
too.
right. I take that back.
There.
They now have Southwest Christian Academy.
Right,
That's their home
right.
field. They used to not though. Like Plato's part of the Glencoe. Like Glencoe's not going to have their varsity games at Plato, but Plato's a great spot.
Yeah.
And that's Hamburg as well. Green Isle.
Great spots.
So,
Great
yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
There's a
Loretto.
lot- Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Providence.
Providence is now the home
plays
team
there,
there.
yeah.
But there's a lot of options for teams out there, and it'd be kind of cool to see a little bit more utilization of the Townball field. So, we talk about our high school games. We now need to really fully dive into Townball. I mean, we've got games. We're playing baseball. None of us at this table yet have played a game or had a game yet.
No.
But we do have. This is a week for all of us to roll out.
It's kind of a weird how we all scheduled. One of us is Wednesday, one of us is Friday, one of us is Sunday.
Yeah, so you got Jordan in the Saints. You're going to be hosting Glencoe on Wednesday night.
We open up tomorrow.
Right.
At time of recording when this drops.
When this
or
drops.
whatever. Wednesday at 7, we've got Glencoe, and they're a solid team.
That's going to be fun. It's a fun game to open up with. And Friday night, the Blues in Litchfield, we're going to be hosting the Cold Spring Rockies, so that'll be another fun game, and that's now a region opponent, so we'll get to see those guys early on. And then Hayes, you on Sunday
at 2:00, a snooze fest. A West Metro snooze fest.
All right, great.
Delano
Don't hit your alarm to wake up for that one, guys.
Delano Athletics at the Shakopee Indians.
That's a fun one. So you're in Shakopee.
Yep.
On Sunday.
Yep. So
that'll be great.
We've been going back and forth with them. It's probably been a decade now, and at one point, the road team had won every single game. And then we finally beat Shakopee at home last year. So now we need to go back to the old ways where the road team's always winning. But so
we'll
see if we can right that ship.
Yeah. So it'll be our first game. I think this will be game 3 for them. But,
and I mean, the Joe is going to be ready for you too.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited.
It's going to be a great spot.
See my old buddy Swamp.
Yeah.
So if the game's at 2, he does the tickets down there. His picture was on Twitter. If the game's at 2, he's probably there just a hair before 11.
Gotta be ready.
Yep, gotta be ready.
Exactly.
He'd just be sitting on a bench waiting for Gary Schlepper to come open the gate for him.
Oh, of course. That's great. No, it should be a great week, and then there's a lot of other teams that are rolling out this week too. But again, we've seen a lot of scores come through. Has there been any games or any scores that you guys have seen that have maybe surprised you? You talk about May baseball. And I brought this up before we started recording, but Kip Kovar, the man out of the he covers CRVL, but he also covers some North Star League. But he had an article that he dropped a couple days ago, and he was not apologizing for his take on May baseball in the current system. It just games are not as there's not as much substance to them as they used to. You could go, and I've heard this take too from Jeremy Stender. You used to go to a May game, and these actually had meaningful, results. Like you'd have a game against 2 league opponents, and it mattered just as much as like a July 15th game. It's different now because teams are trying to front load a lot of like B versus C. You see that a lot.
Yeah.
But you also see
non-league.
Yeah, non-league, right? So Kip Kovar,
well,
he had this big article that basically said like we're just not seeing baseball that matters, or in other words, meaningless baseball games.
I think for a lot of the leagues, it kind of is that way right now. But that's not to say every league or every game has been that way, because we just saw the battle for the keg.
Yeah. El Rosa knocked off Spring Hill. They got the keg back. It's back to its maybe rightful owner. I don't know.
We don't know.
Geez.
But I mean, that is a game that matters for both of those teams. And then I'm just trying to think of some other, like we've had league games that have counted for league standings, and I think there hasn't been a ton of them, and I think those have probably been the better games to this point in the year. But like you're seeing a lot of bad error-filled high-scoring games too, and that part of that is you got to knock the rust off, but another part of it might just be
you're playing your whole bench too.
You're playing everybody, probably get them some time, and it's a game that probably doesn't matter for you or your standing, so it's just like whatever. You're preparing for the games that do matter later. I that's one way to look at it.
Just this past weekend you had the MIAC conference tournament, so that
Yep.
takes
lot of
away 4
kids
schools.
involved.
There's also the WIAC conference tournament. There's plenty of Minnesota kids playing over there. So I think Townball has probably been is turned into a younger players game. I mean, we're in our late 30s. So the people like us that are still playing all the time is kind of a little bit few and far between. And I think there's some of us that are like early May. God,
Well,
I hate the cold. And I'm just
same.
like, guys will be like, "Oh, we practicing?" I'm like, "Yep," but I'm not coming.
Well, I think
It's
I think a big part of it too is, like you said, it's the maybe the age, or maybe how long you've had your same squad or team together. Because just from personal experience, I can remember my first few years with the Saints, and Whitey's managing us, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna open up in Raymond on a Tuesday, April 14th. This is gonna be our first of 50 games this year."
Yeah.
And at the time, well, I also don't like the cold, and I'm like, all right, whatever. But at the time, it's like, okay, well, we have a full roster of 20 to 25 guys, and this is a group that's been together forever, and it is kind of an older team at this point, and that's just what they're used to,
Yeah.
Right.
and how they would do it. Now, like, for me and my current team that I manage, I'm like, all right, middle of May sounds good, because I know not everybody's going to be back from college yet, and we're a much younger team than that team was, and it's just a different setting. I still love playing baseball, whether it's May or not. I just would rather the weather be better.
Oh yeah, and-
Agreed. I will say this too. I am one of those guys that feels like it for the betterment of the team and to be the most competitive as I can be. It's like I would like to have an established lineup going into the games that matter the most, and I like having the ability to kind of see different lineups early on. You don't like to experiment too much with like the games that really matter, and that's where getting these non-league games early on, playing our C versus B. I mean, we go to Buffalo one of the first weeks here, I think in late May, and I know Buffalo is going to be a heck of a team. The question is like, okay, who am I going to want to see maybe on the mound that night? And a couple years ago, that's a game where I throw our 1 or 2, and we're trying to grind out a win, but it just has a different feel to it.
Well, that's the same with us. Like one of our first league games is with Kimball, and they're B and we're C, and they're a solid team. And it's like, if we were all together in the same class, then we're probably both throwing our 1s.
Yeah.
But being that we're not, and depending on who's scheduled around us, maybe we're not.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that like, I think it's kind of doing a disservice to say May baseball is meaningless. It's not.
No.
It's not meaningless. It's just that it's different. It's different than it has been in the past, just with the current setup. And I don't know that that's necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just how it is. It's different.
It's just how everybody wants to look at it. I mean, I don't see our game against Shakopee as meaningless.
Right.
I want to 10 run them, and I hope they want to 10 run us.
Oh yeah,
Right.
with us and Glencoe, it's like they're not in our league.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for our postseason positioning, but we want to play a good game and try to beat Glencoe, because I know that's a solid team that, if you've listened to our predictions and just the people who have done reporting on it, they expect Glencoe to maybe be a final weekend team. So it's like, all right, we're opening with them. Are we going to play the same 9 the whole game? Are we going to get guys in? Well, yeah, we're going to get guys in, but like, we're going to try to play a good baseball game, a good competitive one, and try to win.
But you're right, though. Going back to you saying, there's been some ugly scores. There's been some double-digit
There's a
run
lot
numbers.
of double-digit
There's
scores.
been some 20-plus run number games.
Oh, you want to talk about a 20-plus game? I'm just seeing one here. Clear Lake, who is new to the Victory League, they just so this game, I think, does mean something, because is Saint Matthias, are they also Victory League then?
St.
Yes.
Matthias,
Yep.
yeah.
So this is a league game, and Clear Lake wins their debut Victory League game 20-18
Oh,
over
my
St.
gosh.
Matthias.
Ooh.
So like, it is it is a game that means something because it's a league game, but
Right.
20 to 18. So
It's a tough one out there. You know, you probably start seeing, like, usually you just have one single digit in that error category on your scoreboard. Well, sometimes you're going to go to a ballpark and it's going to have a 0 on it because it might be 10. You know, it might be, might show 1, but really it's 11.
if you get to 9, try to make that 10th. So then it
It
looks
goes back to
better. It
reverse.
looks like, well, yeah, we played clean defense.
reverts back. No, it's there's been some ugly ones, and piggybacking off of ugly losses, we've been a very pro tweet your loss podcast.
You gotta.
If you are a part of your social media team and you're reporting, it's one thing to send your league secretary your score.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole nother thing. You got to tweet. You got to tweet out your final. I mean, even the most professional teams, they can lose by 20. But they get pressured. Some of them don't like to tweet out their loss, but they will get torn up for it. And I think that same pressure should be applied to teams that don't want to tweet a loss, because
Agreed.
you've got people out there that are tracking these scores. We've got Townball schedule guy doing.
Yeah, think about schedule guy, and he's always I always see on Twitter, he's like, didn't see scores from these 6 games, and it's like, 12 teams, and not one of them could have tweeted they won or lost.
Yeah, he had one. I think there was a day this last weekend where he goes, and for the first time in however long, we actually have all of our scores reported, and that's refreshing. I mean, if you I brought up a tweet that Regal Eagles brought up, and I think that you don't even need to censor this one. It's great. Just give us the full tweet from Regal.
This is Regal hashtag tweeting their loss. At Spicer Twins put belt to Eagle ass today, and we limp away with a 13-3 loss. There's no shame in that.
No shame in it, and to be honest, it's refreshing to hear that. If you're hiding from your losses, it just says something. It just kind of.
I feel like if you lost, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody's getting paid.
No,
nobody's getting paid.
Someone had to win. Someone had to lose.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
I'll tell you what. On Wednesday, if we play Glencoe and they put belt to Saint Ass, I'll tweet our loss.
You'll tweet it. You might even throw a GIF on that one too.
Well, you gotta throw a GIF on there.
Yeah. So there's that.
I just think it's good for record keeping for guys like Townball schedule guy who is doing stuff for the NBA website. He's trying to track all that so people, can look at it.
Listen, when I get back from the field and I refresh my Twitter, I want to know what the local scores look like. I mean, of course, if you're winning the game, it's easy to throw a tweet out, right? I mean, it's fun, it's exciting. You can have a game recap and this and that.
Well, and I really appreciate guys like Kip, who's around us, who here was Sunday's scores, and he's got 7 listed there, and it's like, okay, so he can kind of cover if any of those teams didn't, but just do it for the sake of people want to know,
just for the average everyday American that wants to see the score.
Do it for guys like Haywood and Billy Baby.
Talk about
they want to know who won.
I'm not trying to deploy the burners, but if you feel like a team's slacking on the end of just hashtag tweeting your loss, remind them politely that everyone wants to see the finals from all their games. So that is our update and our, once again, hashtag tweet your loss.
That's our PSA for the.
We do that once a year because we want to see it happen. But we'll continue to monitor that situation. We talk about putting stuff out there. Jordan, you've been taking on a little bit of a gig with the North Star League. You put out a kind of a league preview recently.
Yeah, so for a long time for the North Star League, we've had this newsletter called The Spectator. It's been a guy named Dennis used to do it for us forever. He was great. He recently stepped down from that role. Honest to God, he probably did it for, 30 years.
Felt like a long time.
Did an awesome job with it. And then, Ryan, you kind of took over for a minute with that while you were still with the league, before it meant more.
Yeah, it wasn't meaningful for me. I did threw something together. I think we called it the batter's box. And so people were sending me their scores on top of sending Bookie the scores, so I kind of knew what was going on.
It was cool, even for someone that was in like in the middle of it all in the North Star League, so often we don't get to see a lot of what's going on and who's doing great and who's standing out. Well,
Yeah.
that spectator, that I don't know if you did it every couple weeks or
Tried
what.
to do it every other.
Yeah.
Might have done it every. But I mean, like when I started it, that's when like some young lefty from Litchfield just blew up, named Owen Borman and
Yeah.
Borma.
There you go. Respect that name.
No, hey, listen though, Delano has a varsity baseball player named
Borsma.
Borma.
Oh, there's a Borma?
Borman.
Borman?
Owen Borman.
I know that there's
he's a senior.
But does he have a Tom Timpy award?
No,
Because Owen does.
he's
There's a couple Bormas and Borsmas
blue collar
out there.
Borman.
There you go.
But no, yeah. So there's Owen Borman, Litchfield, and Owen Borman, Delano. But yeah, I'm just like, who is this guy? Like, you know, I'll say this. It was kind of nice knowing every single pitcher and inning, how many innings they
Yeah.
threw.
There's a scouting report for
I'm
you.
like telling our guys, we're going to see this guy today. Well, how do you know that? Oh, because this guy pitched this day, this guy pitched that day.
Yeah.
We're going to see so and so. I get every single score, every box score, and they're like, "Oh, that's sweet."
Well,
Yeah.
and that's something that, like,
I mean, in 2026, not hard to figure out anymore.
Right.
But
No.
well, so with the spectator, I mean, again, I'm like now the third person to kind of take that over, but I was recently voted into being
Vice president.
VP of. Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you
You're
guys.
the Al Gore of our league,
Oh, okay.
which is exciting. You invented the internet.
I did invent the internet. I've been chasing Man Bear Pig around as well. So
But yes, you are vice president.
and as part of my duties that were just like, hey, can you do this? It was like, do you want to write up the league newsletter? I'm like, sure, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be super transparent about it, I send out a little questionnaire to everybody in the league. And again, I think every league should do some form of this because, again, just like tweeting your losses or your score or whatever, this is just good info to know about teams around the state. I sent a questionnaire out. It has a few questions, basically like, who are you adding this year? Or who have you signed to date or whatever? Who are your breakout candidates? What is your team's strength? Like that kind of thing. And then it also includes like a manager's poll of here's where everybody finished last year. How do you see this shaking out this year? So that you kind of get some bulletin board material for teams.
It is fun. I mean, like as a North Star League member, I enjoy it. I like seeing, everyone loves to see their team being featured in any sort of fashion. But like, I think too, if you're not a member of the league and you've got a spot where you can go and just kind of read up on teams, I love it. I eat it up. I
think this is perfect for Kimball, who just joined our league.
They
might. I mean, they've played some of our teams, so they kind of know. But now it's like, oh, I can just go look at this packet of info and figure out, oh, this is what this team's all about. This is what this team does.
Right. No,
I think
really cool.
I think it would be good for every league to do something.
I know that there's just a lot more coverage like for some leagues, but yeah, like a league that doesn't get as much exposure, if you can find some league member that can kind of just put together just like highlights and scores from the week or week prior, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I think it just excites everybody, and you might even get a little bit more local involvement because people are reading up, oh, this is an exciting player, this is an exciting team, maybe I need to go watch this team.
Yeah.
And it's just there's really just positives that come along with it. I would say you've got a little bit more homework on your plate, a little bit more to-do list stuff, but
it's a little more work along with doing stuff for my own team and whatever, but like Ryan said, it's good for me and good for everybody because like, oh, I can see what's going on now in the league,
Right.
just like anyone else can when I put it out there.
Well, similar to the podcast too, we're putting in hours, and there's maybe a late night here and there, but it's like we're having fun with it, and that's why if you're writing about town team baseball, you're not slugging through it like it's a chore.
We're having fun and we're doing what we set out to do, and that's just try to grow the game a little bit put Townball out there.
yeah, the nice thing when I was doing it, like we were just talking about the May games, Well, Montrose Waverly would play all these games early on in the year, which was really cool. So I could really write about those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Rob and Kirby, it's like, if you feel left out sometimes, but it was like, I could pump them up at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, Buffalo come in and start beating teams by 50. and
Right.
They're bullies.
Right. They are. 100%.
No, but I mean, so it's just kind of like you could, I tried to always jump around to a different, and then look, oh God, okay. DC's playing Lich. Yeah, we know that that's a good game, but I haven't wrote a ton about Rockford. I haven't wrote a ton about, somebody else. So you can kind of just feature somebody else,
Right.
write about somebody else, and give them, their day. Everybody likes to see their name in the press. So.
You mentioned Kimball in our league. Hamill. I mean, Hamill still to me is kind of a mystery. Like I don't know enough.
I feel like I know more than I ever have about them just because we got the
a little write-up.
little bit from
minimal
them.
stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're starting to open our eyes a little bit to the team and the young roster they have. And
I did notice too that Hamill does the cool thing that some teams are doing now where they'll hold a bat up to someone's face and do the post-game interview.
Yes.
I saw that they had just also played Glencoe. I think they got beat
The post-game interview.
8-5, but a guy for them hit a home run, so they talked about that. They talked about the game. It's cool because you get a little bit more then. It's just
the
fun.
post-game interview stuff. Love it. We've got a couple guys in Lich that eat that up, and they're big fans of it. So
Well, I was doing a little reading on it, Jordan. I might have to change a state tournament pick, though.
really,
Okay.
I don't know.
just because of the Spectator, maybe.
Just because of the Spectator.
From what you read
From what I read on it, I
See?
like we talked about schedule Raider guy again. The format, come on, let's get it back to 12-point font, black and white, Times New Roman. I don't know.
This should be on a chair.
Yep.
Taken on a chair.
I would like a hard
From a distance.
I would like a hard copy mailed to my house.
There you go.
So anyway, no, I was doing a little reading, and out of your whole region, I went with the North Star League teams. I went with your two teams, and then I went Maple Plain. I went Howard Lake. Maple Plain, I see in the Spectator they got Brady McPherson. They don't have him activated yet, so this is where I'm trying to look at some teams,
Yeah.
and some guys aren't activated. And then you guys were telling me some guys are maybe not coming back for Howard Lake yet. I see them on their roster. So the Spectator was nice because Maple Plain did show that Brady's supposed to come back and throw, and I think that makes them pretty tough. But then I noticed a Jake Orthaus for Rockford. Now, he is a left-handed pitcher. He's at Gustavus. He was with Benilde St. Margaret in high school. I'm kind of like, he was probably their, close to their one, maybe their two. Pretty solid pitcher. So I'm like, okay, you start pairing him up with Max Edwards over in Rockford. I kind of like this Crows team maybe a little more than I like
There you go.
the Diamond Devils. And I know Aiden Smith kind of had a, Orson Welles type moment winning a state championship game. And so there's a lot of expectations from him. And, now that he's a couple years into college, maybe it's like, all right, Townball's it. Townball's great. And I think some of these kids are thinking this and that and Northwood. And
Sure.
Okay, that's cute. But Townball's amazing too. So, maybe they kind of keep that core from that state championship high school team from a couple of years ago. I don't know, am I leaning that way a little bit too. So, and then Howard Lake, I don't know. I know they beat Winstead yesterday, but are all the laundry list of guys you said not coming back or not
Sure,
back?
sure.
Or are they going to we didn't want to play against Winstead, but we'll be at the next game and something like that. So,
yeah.
Oh, speaking of Howard Lake.
Speaking of Howard Lake, I think you maybe need to address that too.
Well, I was talking and texting with my buddy who's he is out of the River Valley League.
Okay.
And I was trying to pick his brain on Region 12, the new region that has some River Valley League teams, some DRS teams, trying to get some recon on some of those teams. And we just kind of go back and forth, and I'm like, what do you know about New Prague and Vesely and all these? And he's like, you're pretty hard on Howard Lake. And I'm like, what? I was like,
Brutal.
I picked him to go to state last year, picked him to go to state this year. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, "Oh, you better listen. You better listen to your episode." And I was like, I don't listen to my own episodes.
No,
I don't want to
no.
listen to that garbage.
It's just garbage.
So no, and I'm like, listen, and I was like, all right, yeah, Jordan Flick, their drafty, who was sitting right next to me, trying to be humble pie. Yeah, I was like, yeah, they should have started Jordan. I don't really believe that if they would have yeah, if they would have drafted Colin Crick, I would have not said that because Colin Crick was not sitting next to me at the time.
Crick rules.
As far as throwing Jared or Jordan, we drafted Jared Cook in 2016 and 2022, and we are always, when we do the draft, it's you got to get starting pitching. It'd be cool to have a guy throwing hard out of the bullpen, but especially back in the old C where you had to win 4 games, Labor Day weekend, you need a guy that you give the ball to and say, you pitch until the game is over, which is Jared Cook.
Right.
Yeah.
And that might be 9. It might be 12. It might be a long game. He doesn't care. He's going to throw the whole thing if you need him to. We've seen 20 inning games. We've had guests on here who have been part of 20-inning state tournament games. That will ruin your pitching. When Loretto played against Bird Island a few years ago, Loretto used 3 guys. If that happens the last weekend, you're in trouble.
Yes.
So you better have drafted a Jared Cook to go out next game and throw 9 plus. Joey Hyde's another perfect example.
Oh, sure.
Jordan can do it. But we've drafted Jordan several times. He's never started a game for us, but he has thrown 16 relief innings and given up, I think, less than 1 run.
Wow.
It might be 0.
So you're saying he's been mismanaged under your watch?
So I say that, it's like, well, we drafted Jared once for us being a starter, and when we drafted Jordan, we liked him in relief. So I'm like, kind of what I said. I was like, I don't really believe that. And if you ever listen closely, I do a lot of Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
A lot of Ron Swanson quotes. So, and I said something about, words are stupid. They'd be a lot less stupid if they went to the right people. That is from Parks and Rec, the television show that's from Ron Swanson. Just like Schedule Raider guy, no hooks, no spin, no fuss, anything more. This becomes fear. Those are Ron Swanson sitcom television show lines.
We love that.
I think you, whether you were hard on them or not, I think that if we ever are hard on a team, you should wear that as a badge of honor because it means we probably like you.
Yeah.
If we don't talk shit about you,
There's some teams, again, if you listen closely, there's people out there in teams we don't really care for, and you just don't hear their name.
We're so nice. We're so nice.
But here's
right?
the other thing too. I was like, and going back and forth with River Valley League guy, I'm like, I went to every one of their state games last year.
Yep.
My team played 5. The next amount of games, most games I went to was them.
100%.
I watched them play Brownton. I watched them play Wyndham. I watched them play Pierce.
Yeah.
I even wore a red hat.
That was
crying out loud.
Howard Lake beat us in the region, and of course, having Jordan drafted, it gave me a reason. Okay, we got to support a North Star League team, and of course Jordan as well. So, we were supporting them hard, and I just think that
I'd have done it the same way they did.
Exactly. It's if you hear us give you a hard time, it is like Jordan said, because we know you can take it
and respect you too.
And, we respect.
Because we got a message from Ryan Graham.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You send it to me.
I
don't go on our Talking Townball Twitter. I don't even know the password. I don't know if you guys
good,
give it to me.
That's a good thing. We're gonna keep it that way.
I get a little hot about a certain basketball team.
The password is Go Orphans.
Yeah. No, and then so I was texting Ryan. I said, I got this message sent to me. He's just like, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm like, I know. That's awesome.
That's right.
I was like, stole the ring. They beat us 21-0 in the prep bowl. There was no stealing. It was over at kickoff. They throttled us.
Stole the
jerks.
ring right off your
jerks.
We joked too, and Graham's had sent me a message, and it was he had just hit 3 home runs for Brown against Gibbon, and I was trying to give him a hard time. I said, I'm pretty sure I Google mapped Gibbon. I think their left field pole is about 260 feet. And he's like, but I still cleared them pretty far. So, they would have been gone in Brownton. And I was like,
gone anywhere.
I'm like, I get it.
Would they have been gone in right field at Loretto, though?
Ooh, probably the deepest right field. What is it, 680 feet?
I think only one guy's ever hit a home run.
Corey Koski, 2022.
He's the only person
and
that ever hit a home run.
That
to
field's
right field
what?
there.
295 years old. Corey
Yeah.
Koski,
Yeah.
only man to ever hit
Yep.
a ball
Maher,
380 feet.
Tyler Maher's never gone oppo there.
No.
No,
Nathan Mather, his brother's never
None
hit one
of
out.
those guys.
Jordan's never gone
I've
there.
definitely never.
Never in Loretto.
I've
Pushed one
definitely
over.
never pumped Jason Lesser there. That's
I've never seen a 16-year-old Toby Hansen hit 3 out in that parking lot and won a high school game in the section championship. Never seen it. Never been
man.
done.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Fun
happened
stuff.
once.
We're having too much fun today. We got to rein it in. I think the last thing we can talk about before we get into our interview today is probably let's talk about, you got some information, Hayes, about some state title game locations. Was this something you had gotten a blessing from a state board member recently?
I did, and Gary Schlepper with State Board and Shakopee. I was just kind of like, hey, where are the championship games this coming year, and can I say something about it at the podcast? He goes, oh yeah, it was voted on at the last meeting, so it is public knowledge.
It's in the minutes. It's in the minutes.
Yep. So A and B championship games will be at Shakopee, and the C championship will be at New Prague. A and C will be on Sunday, and B on Labor Day Monday.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
like it.
So, I mean, I think the first reaction to that was you've got one site hosting 2 title games. But at the same time, you've got some semifinal games that are going to be just as exciting and going to be ramped up, leading to those championship games at these other sites. So it's going to be, I mean, it's a great venue for games. All the sites are, but it's just going to be a really fun weekend of championship ball. So
I think for those championships, I mean, we know about Shakopee. They've hosted a championship before.
Of
I'm
course.
almost positive.
Oh, yeah.
So we know they're plenty capable to do it. New Prague, I don't think they've ever hosted a championship game.
They have.
They have?
The It Means More Crow Valley League Plato Blue Jays won a state championship there in
Oh,
2018.
yeah.
18,
All right.
yeah.
Yep.
No,
Well,
that
good
was
for
a
them.
good year. That
I've
was a good
seen
year.
some of the improvements that New Prague has made to their park over the past, 4 or 5 years or so, and it's tight. It's looking really good. I'm sure it's playing well. That's exciting.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to try to format it like have the 2 B semis, then an A championship, then a C championship, and try to cram all 4 into one day at one site. That would be kind of cool because everybody's there.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, because then that something runs long, then you have a championship game starting at 9,
Right,
10 o'clock at
right.
night. So it'll be interesting to see. The brackets might be out there, but so yeah, they're in the third site is one of the other sites is Jordan, as people refer to in Shakopee. Jordan is a suburb of Shakopee. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to start a fight.
That's great. Get them going a little
And then
bit.
Chaska's the 4th site. Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool. Well, yeah, a team that is going to be vying for that final weekend. I mean, we got the
I'm
Shoreview
looking at- I'm
Stumpgrinders.
looking. Oh, okay.
Wait, you're looking across the table at Jordan and I? Yeah, of course. We would love to. Either way, we're going to be at games. Whether we're
We
playing
will
in
be
them,
there,
we're
yeah.
going to be there enjoying the sights and the sounds and obviously the awesome ballparks. But a team that I want to talk about, a Class A team, a team that's in the Metro Mini, the old Shoreview Stumpgrinders. What a team
What a
name.
name.
We love, obviously, a good name on a ball team. And the Stumpgrinders, I mean, that's as unique as it gets. We are going to have a guest here for our interview. He's a first-year manager. His name is Jake Orthaus, and we're going to get him in here and just kind of talk about, he's a first-year guy coming into
brand new.
Townball. It's kind of fun to kind of see I'm excited to see kind of how he's approaching this year. And kind of just, I'm sure we'll chuckle at a lot of the things that he has to say because he doesn't have a ton of experience. He's probably grown up with Townball, but in that manager role, no experience yet. So we've got Jacob on here to talk about the Stumpgrinders. They play their games at UNW, which if you've played anything, what's UNW? What level do they play at?
Division 3.
I think it's D3,
Division 3,
right?
yeah.
And they're in
Yeah.
Bethel. And
Well, no, they're not in the MIAC. They're with like a Bethany Lutheran and a Crown
It's
College.
the NCCAA or whatever, isn't that
Didn't
what it
your
is?
guy?
oh yeah, of course, Owen pitched there.
Borma?
Yeah, we referenced them earlier, but yeah, Owen pitched there for a year or two, and
Yeah, it's an interesting park, and I'm sure that we'll hear about it.
100%. I'm excited to learn more about it and just kind of pick Jacob's brain a little bit. So, without further ado, here is our Max Bat interview with Stumpgrinders manager Jacob Orthaus. And we are here with our interview, our Max Bat interview of the week. It's Jacob Orthaus. He is here representing the Shoreview Stumpgrinders of the Metro Mini. And Jacob, I think leading into the interview, I might have murdered your name a little bit, but you've made it clear it's Orthaus, correct?
Yes, yeah. I heard it all. I've heard Orthaus. It don't really matter
Orifice?
to me at this point in my life. So, I mean, if you butchered it, it's all the same.
Sure. As long as that first name, I don't think many people are tripping up on that. So you go by
Right.
Jacob or you go by Jake?
I primarily go by Jake a lot of the time.
Oh,
but,
nice.
You know, a lot of the guys on my team, they'll know me as Orty.
Orty.
Yep, so-
Orty. We love
go.
that. We love that. Well, good stuff. You mentioned your team. Obviously, you're coming into a first-year managerial role with the Stumpgrinders, and that's
Right.
kind of exciting. We talked last week. Everybody that we've interviewed to this point in the year has had this like laundry list of like this resume of crazy history with teams, and it's kind of refreshing. Now we go to you, and it's kind of like a fresh start. You know, you're getting into your first year of managing, and can you just kind of talk about how you've got into Townball and what you've done to this point and how you landed in this role?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm originally from Hugo, Minnesota, so right squeezed in between Forest Lake and White Bear. So
Sure.
when I was growing up, I actually had a couple of cousins that played for the Forest Lake Brewers. And so we spent a lot of time in the summer going to Forest Lake Brewers games up at Schumacher Field.
Great spot. by the way.
And yeah, absolutely. And kind of just, learn to kind of love baseball and Townball for what it is in those early days. But, I played high school ball for Forest Lake.
Okay.
Never played any college baseball. I went off to South Dakota State to get my ag business degree and kind of then graduate, get off into my career. But as for starting with the Shoreview Stumpgrinders, it would have been my sophomore year, I think. Now I was sitting there, could have been March or April,
Okay.
and I had coached VFW baseball up in Forest Lake the year before, and
Sure.
kind of realized that I really wanted to get back into playing the game of baseball, not just coaching it. So I kind of, looked around on social media trying to find if there was any teams within my area kind of willing to take on a new player. And I found the Stumpgrinders, inaugural team, hadn't played a game yet, and thought, this is a great opportunity for me to kind of jump in and be a part of the start of something special.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you've got the Stumpgrinders. You said it was inaugural season. That is, you're talking about this year? I mean, how long have they played now?
So our first season was back in 2023.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so 3 seasons under our belt thus far, and that we started out really strong. And as guys kind of get older, they graduate college, they start having families.
Of course.
Things started to change a little bit, and this year it's nice to kind of get a fresh start, most definitely.
Yeah. You talk about, so the area you're in, Shoreview, I mean, Class A ball is kind of a different animal. We sit here, we're a couple Class C guys, and Hayes in Class B now, and we've interviewed a Class A representative and talked a little bit about Class A, and it is a little bit more intense as far as your roster and how you kind of create that roster. do you have a lot of guys in that area, like that the UNW guys? Obviously, you're playing on their field, right? Do you have kind of a
Correct.
connection with guys at that level there?
Yeah. When we started back in 2023, the idea with our former manager was, these guys got kind of robbed of their COVID season, and
Sure.
just to be able to get some of those UNW guys back together into the fold and kind of play out the baseball that they were supposed to play together. So I think, that back in 2023, we probably had anywhere from 10 to 15 guys on the roster that played at UNW.
Oh wow.
And there was that really strong connection there. But this year, I would say that I think there's only maybe 4 to 6 UNW guys remaining.
Sure. Okay.
And that's, like I said, just the process of guys, graduating college, having families, maybe they're moving somewhere else and it just doesn't really fit for them anymore. But yeah, it was important for us to kind of keep that connection to UNW, renew kind of our home games at Reynolds Field there. Incredible facility.
Oh, absolutely.
I know that they play a lot of high school games there. I played there when I was in high school, and it's a great facility for sure.
Yeah, Jordan's been to the ballpark, and he talked about a left field fence. Jordan, you?
Yeah. So, well, one, the dimensions there are kind of cool because it's like deep to right and center, and then left field seems pretty close, but it's a giant like chain link fence that kind of protects what's behind it. Right? Am I correct there?
Yeah, they actually have parking behind that left field fence.
Okay.
So, it's can get shoddy sometimes.
So what is the process like then for you guys as an amateur baseball team, a Townball team, to play on that field? Is it like you rent the field for a certain amount of dates, or because I mean there's the college plays there, you play there, there's high school games there. What's that process like? Because we're not, for the three of us, we have our own parks that we play at, and there's not really like I guess I want to say there's not really like
competing.
Yeah,
factors,
we
right?
we have our games there, but for a place like that, what is the process like?
Yeah, it's highly competitive. It's really hard to be able to reserve that time because it's within UNW's whole athletic facility, and the fact that it's a turf field. So it can be used for soccer, baseball. You can use it for flag football, whatever. And so the other issue, too, is the university tennis courts are right next to the baseball field. Yep. So if they have any kind of tennis matches going on, there's a threat of foul balls, so we can't play.
Oh,
unbelievable. Wow.
Those sit right up above like the first base dugout, right? If I remember right.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of foul ball zone right there.
Absolutely. And there's no real kind of fence or netting to protect it. So, if you're out there playing tennis on a night that the Stumpgrinders are playing baseball, you got to get used to dodging and ducking.
Maybe they could just send them right back with the racket.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. No, so you've got a great field there. Obviously, it's super super cool that you're playing. You got the Stumpgrinders going. We talk about UNW. Is there any other pipelines that have emerged? I mean, we talk about is there a group that's started recruiting out of? Is there a high school in the area that maybe you're seeing a few more guys come out of?
Yeah. So this year, it was a long, difficult process because after last year and the announcement that we might fold, a lot of guys left, and recruiting was kind of the biggest step that I had to take before doing anything else. And you look at Shoreview itself doesn't have a high school within its city limits. The two nearest high schools would be Irondale High School and Mounds View High School, which a lot of good players coming from both those places. But I mean, the Twin Cities is just such a competitive atmosphere. The landscape is incredible. I mean, you have to show guys that you're the team to play for. But certainly multiple pipelines have sort of kind of come out of the blue this year. Irondale was kind of a pipeline we created, went actually over to Hudson, Wisconsin, which was kind of an interesting one.
Wow.
As well, getting guys from a very good Hudson High School team. And I think we also have a couple of players from De La Salle High School. I mean, we're all over the map, to be honest.
That's very cool.
Well, I've looked at your Instagram page. It's just Stumpgrinders Baseball, which I think is cool because you guys have such a unique name. You don't have to be like Stumpgrinders Baseball 94 or whatever. You just have the name. But looking through that, you do a really cool feature on your players with that baseball card type format, and it's a picture of them. And then on the back side of the card, it's, hey, this player bats right, throws right. Here's their height and weight. This is their high school. This is the club team they play for, or the college or whatever. And then a little write-up. I think that's super cool. And before we got on the phone with you in the earlier part of our podcast, we actually talked about, getting info about your team out there and how that's good for everybody in the state to see. I think you do a really good job with that. And if you go to Stumpgrinders Baseball on Instagram, you can find out more about these players that you've got now.
No, really appreciate that. And I got really lucky. So my girlfriend, she went to university for sports marketing.
There you go. Nice.
She
got an
she
ace
has
in the
all
hole
that.
here.
Oh yeah, she has that Photoshop experience. She knows what to do. So I leave all of that stuff up to her, and she asked me for the write-up, and we try to put that out on a consistent basis. As we get towards the season, it gets a little harder, but it started kind of as a way to differentiate ourselves on social media for one, but also it works as a pretty good recruiting tactic
for sure
guys.
for sure
Yeah.
Especially for younger guys that like I'm sure like for our older listeners they could care less about social media stuff, but for young ball players, I mean, who isn't on Instagram all the time or whatever?
Right.
So they probably see that and they're like, oh, this is sweet. They actually talk about us.
Yeah, image is everything for a lot of these young guys. Getting their name out there is important. So, I really wanted to check those boxes for these guys, make them feel important, make them feel like they're a part of something bigger. So
100% getting their name out there and being seen. I think that's a huge thing. Class A, for the most part, to us has been kind of a mystery for a while, and putting to like humanize it a little bit, put faces to players and to teams. It makes it, you start to think, okay, these guys are just like us. We're playing out here in the cornfields, and these guys in the cities. I mean, obviously the talent is great, but these are kids just like us out here. So it's so fun to track. We like to think we're starting to understand Class A ball a little bit more, but
it's been a goal of ours.
It has been a goal. Right. It's like we sit here and we're trying to think like, okay, what is the build up to a season look like? And you're kind of giving us a little bit of an insight here. And another question we have too, we really want to ask about is just the origination of the name itself, because we've talked about. There are teams around the state that really put out like an awesome,
just a unique
name. There's a couple of up north teams that there's a whole region of teams that have great names. Yeah. There's a Lunatics team that just came out.
Yes. Yep.
The amount of Jordan and I and Ryan, we were the marketing group for the 2023 state tournament, and we just think about all the marketing opportunities for these teams, and the Stumpgrinders being the name that you have, I immediately go to like almost like a minor league team that puts out this alternate hat or something. There's teams out there that can really excite the locals with just the cool ideas and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But how did the name come to be?
Yeah, so back, that was in 2022 or 23. When our former manager and his buddies were kind of putting together this team, recruiting guys, they were trying to figure out a team name. And the story is actually pretty short. They were all riding in a car together on the way to, it was either, I think, a wedding or a bachelor party. and on the side of the road it said stump grinding service. And
yes,
someone in the car turned to someone else and said, that right there is perfect.
Stump.
Was
Like
there
this.
any illegal substances being consumed at the same time? I mean, like, that just seems what a story to have. You've got, on the side of the road, we saw Stumpgrinders, so we want to be the Stumpgrinders. That is as straight away as you can get.
That's perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, I look at teams like Lakeville being the Lunatics and Agassiz this year being the Gamblers.
The
I love the
Gamblers.
Gamblers
Oh, yeah.
name, but
Yeah.
it's just, but it's great playing, under the name Stumpgrinders. Whenever you go out there and talk to people, hey, well, what team do you play for? Or whatever, you say Stumpgrinders and they look at you like you're an alien.
Well, yeah,
they
and
look
then
at you like you're funny.
It burns the memory in the skull. I will never not remember Shoreview Stumpgrinders. That will always be the case. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are old school and they have kind of an older style and they've stuck with their name for over 100 years. But when you have the opportunity to kind of rebrand or create a brand, make it exciting. It's also our push. We have a Rockford team. We give them kind of a hard time every once in a while. They're the Crows.
Right.
We said immediately they should be the Peaches. Just go into it and just invest fully in that. And we're still going to sign a petition for that. So look for that in the future. But
Absolutely.
how about the Stumpgrinders as far as the team on the field? You said there's been some turnover and this and that, but what do you foresee this year as far as what are the goals for the crew this year?
Yeah, when we first started, it was a very young team. I think the oldest player on the team was maybe 34, and we had a couple of 27-year-olds, 26-year-olds. But a huge majority of the roster was guys between the ages of 18 to 25. Mm-hmm. And that, continued to be the case for the first 3 seasons. And then we had all that roster turnover in the offseason. And so when I started recruiting, I really wanted to focus on guys who maybe haven't gotten their exposure to Townball yet.
Sure.
We can kind of be this first team that they latch on to for talent around the Twin Cities. And so a large majority of our roster now heading into 2026 is guys between the ages of 18 to 20.
Ooh, young guns.
Real young guns. I think our oldest player this year, he's 27. He'll be in the starting lineup, but he is the grandfather of the team for sure now. I mean, I'm not an old guy myself. I'll be turning 23 next month. And,
unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, so
we're
it's
talking
it's,
to
it's
just a young crew here. I love it.
Yeah, it's an incredibly young team, and the Metro Mini and a lot of Class A is a bunch of young guys. These are guys that are playing college baseball, guys who are just coming out of high school. So it's not out of the ordinary for sure how young of a team we are, but it's certainly unique to a certain extent.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
I did want to ask you about the Metro Mini here.
Yes.
Unless you,
No, it's all you.
okay, yeah. So, who's the favorites out of the Metro Mini this year? Would you say?
Oh gosh, yeah. Champlin, they're always a favorite. They probably have one of the strongest rosters out there besides, say, like a Meesville. They have so much experience up and down that roster. Guys that have played professional ball, guys that have played college ball. It's nuts whenever you have to go up against the Low Gators. And then besides that, certainly I would think a team like Andover, the Aces,
Oh, sure.
are a heavy favorite this year. They just have such a huge roster, a lot of pitching depth, especially. So there's certainly teams that are hard to beat, but with the addition of Elk River and Monticello this year to make an even 10, I think that the competition in the league is probably the most parity that there's
Oh,
ever
wow.
been.
That's
So I was
great.
gonna say, is there anybody that flies under the radar that we need to keep an eye out for?
Well, I'd love to say that this is the Stumpgrinders year.
Go
There
for
you
it.
go.
Yeah,
But
Dark
I
horse.
got a lot of young guys who, I've seen their games, but a lot of them I haven't met, and I can't really forecast how they're going to play, you know, for a full 35 game season. So, you know, yeah,
Flying under radar. That's
for
all
you
right.
too. I mean, to be a first year guy,
yeah.
for being a first year guy too, it's like you're going to be learning a lot on the fly too. I mean, it's I remember my first year. Obviously you hear about who's got this roster, who's got what, but until you see the kids playing ball on the field, it's tough to say. So that's an exciting thing too. You're obviously going to have some fun times. You're probably going to have some rough days against these really good teams too, and it's all an experience. You know, it's we've got Flick. You've been managing how many years?
This will be my
fourth year. So I mean, you're still considered just a baby in the managerial department here. So we're always you're always learning, but it's exciting to hear from somebody that is as young as you and getting into the game and getting into that managerial role. It's fun because there's just with that becomes, I think you just automatically carry energy with you, and as long as you can keep that and carry that on, I think it kind of just feeds off the roster. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on the Stumpgrinders this year.
We'll try to make it out. Try to make it out for one of your home games, as long as there's no tennis going on.
Right? Yeah. The Northeast Metro. We need to get out there.
It doesn't even have to be a home game. You know, the Metro Mini has plenty of great fields. I don't know if any of you have been to Castle Field in Anoka, but that's an outstanding park to watch a game in. You know, Schumacher Field, as we already talked about. But
Palm Field, is that St. Anthony?
They're not in the
St. Anthony,
Metro.
but Palm Field's a great field as well. I love going to Palm Field to watch a game.
We're close to Monticello.
Monty.
Yeah, when you play at Monty.
I think you actually open your season against a team that we know very well because they're in the North Star League.
What?
You open up against the Maple Lake Lakers, right?
No way.
Yes, we do. This weekend, actually, the 16th at 2 o'clock, we'll be headed to Irish Stadium to test out the waters, see what this squad has.
That's Saturday, right?
Yep.
Saturday the 16th at 2. Man,
I'm thinking I might have to make a trip. We'll see. This is exciting. No, I'm really super excited.
They're good hosts. You'll enjoy it there. It'll be a fun time.
You'll have a great time in Maple Lake. So, Jake, it's been great having you on. Do you guys have anything else you want to throw at Jake before he rolls out?
I just want to give you a shout out for I saw your team's hashtag Get Stumped. I think that's great. I think that's solid stuff.
Yep.
Plays right into the name. That's good stuff.
Hayes?
All right, good luck. Jake will be pulling for you, man.
Hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
Enjoy vacation.
Yeah, I will. Thank you guys.
Good luck this year. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Yep. Thanks.
And that was our MaxBat interview with the Shoreview Stumpgrinder, very young manager, Jacob Orthaus. Good luck to his squad this year. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on. Maybe you'll see us in Maple Lake. It'd be kind of fun to follow.
I knew he was young.
I didn't know he was 22 years old.
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
I mean, he was the way he handles himself and talks. I would have guessed a 32-year-old guy managing a team.
I think that it's a good sign for this team that they have someone that young who's this into it and just carries himself well.
Yeah, an organized dude that cares about his team.
If you don't manage any team, regardless of if it's Townball or high school or professionally or whatever, being organized is like 90% of it.
Yeah.
You're
babysitting grown men mostly.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Keeping things on the rails. Just being organized is probably number one, and he sounds like he's pretty organized.
Yeah, I'm excited for him, excited for that squad. I had no investment, emotional investment in anything going on probably in that Northeast Metro, but here I am right now thinking about, trying to catch a Stumpgrinders game because it's just an exciting time for that team to have kind of that next era going to be ushered in. So exciting stuff. And now
tough
Hayes,
league.
I'm not
It's tough league though.
Exactly.
Tough league.
Last week I called this the Ryan Hayes Field of the Week. No, it's the It is going to be the Brian Rock Field of the Week. Hayes, your segment, get to it.
Brian Rock, field of the episode, what everybody has been waiting for. I did see, though, we had some representation up at in Marty, Minnesota at Pearl Lake's game. I think our guy Andy was up there, and somebody else I'm not worried about. Can't remember. We'll talk about it later. So that led me to this one a little bit, talking about some Townball fields that aren't tied to a high school or maybe necessarily a school district hosting some games, which we love to see. And then I saw some people go to Marty, Minnesota and check out a game there, which is fabulous. This is the challenge of a lifetime.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
And I want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
And I want to find it because I don't even know if it technically is there anymore. I have searched on Google Maps. I maybe have found the outline of the field. I'm going to take us to Red Eye Township, Minnesota.
Yes.
And it's up there, man. It's up there. Red Eye Ballpark. It was built in the year 1992. It has a seating capacity of 50. There are no lights, and when they were having a team, there is no team in Red Eye anymore. They were the Red Eye Country Boys.
The Country Boys.
Fabulous. Again, going on these great nicknames. I'm like, this is the perfect.
It fits
perfect
like a glove.
They were having 60 games a year, so the dimensions were 302 down the left field line. Let's go for the righties. Left center 355, center 358, right center 336, and right field 306. No concession stands. The bathroom, it sounds like, well, let's just read a little snippet about the bathroom.
Sure.
The main restroom has a large water tank, which the Sabika Fire Department fills each spring. The tank used for flushing the toilets is large enough to last the season, but one of the toilets started leaking a while ago.
Oh, no.
And the water in the tank only lasted about a week. The backup is an outhouse, which is well ventilated thanks to several shotgun holes in the walls.
Good Lord.
But anyone who
Those country boys.
But anybody knows, you just go in the woods and you have to look out for some poison ivy. And I take these out of a book that a gentleman wrote years ago, and it's just, I love it. And Red Eye, I think they've been defunct since 2016, which kind of does make me sad. Red Eye Township, population of approximately 20. Red Eye,
Is it just the team?
I think
The
so.
whole team.
I mean,
That's the
it's
whole
just
roster.
like no concession stand, but they have a well that you just pump the water in if you need a cold drink of water.
Good minerals in that
I love
water.
it. Red Eye Township, located in Wadena County, is not on any map. The ball field in Red Eye sits about 6 miles northeast of Sabika, which has a population of 700, where most of the players live. The township's name comes from Red Eye Creek, which was named by the Ojibwa for the red-eyed red horse fish populating in that stream. The only local employer in Red Eye is the sawmill and carpenter farm, the sole surviving dairy farm in the township. So and there's some sights to see though if you go up there and you can't find the field. So I want to challenge somebody to find it. Don't take a picture of the woods and say it's Red Eye, because I'll know you're lying.
We need to find like a remnant of the.
I know.
Is there like a cleat hanging on a tree?
Well, here's
somewhere?
the thing. There is a picture in here of a 100-year-old horse-drawn grader resting in the brush near the ball field, which was brought out of retirement years ago and used to grade the field. So that might still be sitting there.
There's a clue.
Man.
The dugouts looks like looks like brick and some wood. So maybe they're still there. The scoreboard is one of those where you hang the numbers on. The well might still be there. So, all right. So the township is close to Spirit Lake and Monaga and Huntersville State Forest, a 52 square mile park featuring two rivers, the Crow River State Canoe Route and Shell River. These waterways cut through red and jack pine forests covering rolling sandy hills. Huntersville State Forest offers a great alternative to the nearby and more heavily used Itasca State Park, the headwaters of the Mississippi.
Wow.
I mean,
Can you? I just
you write us a check, Red Eye Township.
Yeah,
for
for
this
the
tourism.
PR.
This is great.
I was
Can you
I was
imagine?
picturing that was I could see just the scenic views as you were
the scenic
reading that.
views. Imagine that team taking the field to a Country Boy Can Survive.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
these
Do they
guys
have-
I don't think they have music.
I bet they have a
boombox,
boombox up
Yeah,
there.
true.
something, or like a fiddler.
so
Charlie
there's a-
Daniels was there.
What else you got?
The Country Boys. That's
Oh, so Mark Jerbian, manager of the Wolf Lake Wolfpack years ago, said that in the early years when he would get lost on the dirt roads, he'd stop, get out of the car, turn off the engine, and listen for the crack of the bat.
Oh my!
If I could hear that sound, I knew I was close. Aaron Funk, former manager of the Nimrod, or he might still be the manager of Nimrod Nats,
Nats.
of the Lake and Pine League, and the Lake and Pine League secretary, says the field's remote location causes last-minute phone calls from confused players. I'll get a scratchy call from a player almost out of cell range yelling, "Where the hell is the Red Eye field?"
That is a lost relic, and it's
Yeah,
really unfortunate
so-
that we don't have stories like that anymore. I mean, normally a field can be found in a Google map, so it's like
I
awesome.
feel like I've looked, and so... Yeah, you
so
have
it was-
homework. You have homework, listeners.
Yep.
You said 92 was the first year, so like kind of short-lived. The
No,
field-
but it's I should have
went
read
through
more. I didn't want to read the whole thing.
2016.
They had a team for 60 plus years.
oh, okay.
And they didn't feel the team it sounded like in 2016 and beyond. I mean, I'm guessing Huntersville's probably grabbed a bunch. Sabika,
Now the Country Boys are just
Midway.
Medina,
They're just
Deer
lost
Creek.
to
I don't know
time.
if they have a team up there, but yeah, wow, what a story. What a
I did. So our starting second baseman, Marcus Reaver, he is originally from the greater Bertha Hewitt area. And his parents come to a lot of games. He has a brother who plays for Midway. And I remember just kind of digging into that once we got near the playoff state tournament. And so I remember asking his dad. His dad played baseball like all the Reavers do. And he remembers playing up there and had some pretty good memories. So, you know.
wow,
That's awesome.
fun stuff, man.
Yep.
Great choice for the Brian Rock field of the episode.
Yeah.
So.
So there you go.
Well, good stuff, you guys. It's we're getting into the heart of May here, and a lot of baseball being played. I'm excited for us here at the table. We get into our games. All of our squads are going to get rolling, and for everybody else listening, I'm sure their team is as well. So,
Yep.
anything else we want to throw out there before we wrap?
I hope that tonight the Wolves win. And that's all I have to say
That is
about
what
that.
we're hoping. Of course, Wemby's going to probably be throwing. I mean, what other? Is he going to bring a weapon on the court? They're
Yeah,
not going to
geez,
suspend him.
A shank,
Unbelievable.
probably.
That guy's
So-
just the French man.
The French man, but that's
Well,
been
we have one too.
that's true.
We have two of them.
Yeah, that's right.
And we that is our Wolves talk of the week.
Wolves
right there.
talk. We're howling.
But yeah, join us again as we get through May. We'll have plenty more to report on baseball wise as we get into our next episode. But yeah, a fun one today. Thanks again, Jacob Orthaus, for joining us. If you if you see the Stumpgrinders near you or on the schedule, go out into a game and check them out. Say hi to Jake and wish him luck. So with that, I think we're wrapping. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great week. Until next time.